tiger, she was hilarious. So basically Daisy, her story is kind of like, they thought they were gonna have to euthanize her when they rescued her because she had her joints were so bad, she had back issues, she just couldn't walk. And now she runs, plays, will walk with you along the fence, like all kinds of things, and that's just kind of a testament to what the Wildcat Sanctuary does, like in their mission. But she's hilarious. She was, awesome to photograph. You could like walk down the fence with her. She would like start stalking you. You could walk around the corner and then get like really good action shots of her coming towards you. So she was definitely my favorite resident. So another task that I was given was to produce 2 calendars. So the Big Cat calendar that you see here. So they sell this every year. It's just they don't do it for very much money. They just want to make sure that their donors, supporters, and fans are getting what they, something tangible, something that they can hang on their wall. One of my images did make it in here, Mr. Chonka Truck. So he's a great big dude. But yeah, so, I did all put the text on, did the formatting, made it look good, designed this for the front. And got it to where it was, ready to be bought by thousands of people. So that was, an amazing thing to just think about. My work is going to be hanging on walls all over the world because we're a global entity. So most of these are my images. Since I was the one that was creating the calendar, I was doing the extra work to get, beauty shots, as we call them, of these cats. But they have donors too, just like the big cats. They have people that pay money for them to live a good life at TWS. So they approached me and they said, "You think you could pull off 2?" And I said, "Sure, I think I will be able to do that in 2 months." So I did. They gave me lots of help, of course. Tammy and Judson both did. They have a Facebook group that's like, "We love the Wildcat Sanctuary" or something. And like people post pictures, like when they get it in the mail, they're like, "Oh, look what came to me today in my mail." And it's like, 2 calendars that I had my hand in. So that was, just a very rewarding experience that I still get to see the benefits of. So I also did some graphic design work over the summer. So on the back of this shirt, so I kind of reworked that logo, just remade it, tweaked it a little bit so that way we could start selling it to our fan base because, they see the caretakers and interns working and they see that on the back of the shirt and like, we want that because that's what you have. So now we made that possible. So this was my biggest, most time spent was fielding comments, writing copy, taking pictures, editing pictures, watermarking. So I did lots of that, wrote some terrible puns that everyone just always loved, cat puns, so always went off well in that department. So just I didn't want to give a presentation without talking about our educational pillars. So Bengal hybrids, so these guys, Tigger is a Bengal hybrid. We also have Savannah hybrids. Benji, he's one of my favorite little dudes. He's a hybrid. So basically what a hybrid is when you take a wild cat and a domestic cat and breed them. And F1s are going to be the most wild, F2s, F3s, F4s, and down, they get less and less wild, but their tendencies still don't make them good house cats. And what you see a lot of times, someone will pay, I think I saw something, it was $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for these cats because they look wild. And then they usually get sent to a pound and they're euthanized because they pee in the house, they're aggressive, they stalk children. You're getting a wild cat, that's what you're purchasing, you need to be able to deal with the consequences. So we get tons of that. We had almost 40 residents in that department. So that's one of our advocating touch points that we get brought up a lot. White tigers are not a subspecies, they are actually just Bengal tigers that have been interbred to kind of manipulate the recessive gene. So white tigers could happen in the wild, it's super rare, especially with the low population of tigers now. Usually you have stillborns, you have ones that aren't perfectly white and black, and they're usually euthanized, sold, killed. It's a really nasty industry. So we advocate against it. Mohan was one of our residents that we lost right after I left. I sat with him on my last day and bawled my eyes out because he was in his end of life. But yeah, just watching his journey and seeing him in the end of his days, it was just, something that I'll never forget because it was so hard to watch. This amazing animal have joint issues, bone issues, vision problems. It's insane, what white tigers endure for the sake of human pleasure, I guess you could say. Cub petting, so there's still a lot of, the USDA still says that 8 to 12 weeks it's okay to pet tiger cubs. And we advocate against that, obviously. So in the wild, every 3 years, a female tiger might have 1 litter. But with these operations, every 1 year they're usually having 3 litters because the babies are getting pulled away from their mothers to make that, instant cake to make another litter. And you have to think what happens after the 12 weeks. So basically, they're either euthanized, they're sold, they're parted out, they're sold to private breeders, they're sold back to the breeding industry. It's just this really nasty cycle that people don't see because you think, oh, cute cuddly cub, I'm gonna go pay $5 or whatever to pet them. And really you're actually just paying for a life sentence to either death, having a private owner, or being stuck in a cage for upwards of 20 years. So that's just something to remember when you go on vacations. Say no to cub petting, that's our big thing. And no more wild pets. Everyone wants, for whatever reason, there's such an allure to having cougars in your house, jaguars like in your backyard, all these things just because you want the wild to be something that you can tame. All 117 residents had a story that I was able to learn and I was able to tell to the donors, to our fans. And it's a great reminder just to be an advocate for these cats. Like I said, most amazing summer of my life, most amazing experience that I've ever had, ever. Never would I have thought at 20 years old I would have 700 images of lions, tigers, servals, cougars, like all these amazing pictures that are possible because of the internship. And that's just something too, like, if you ever get the chance to take an internship off campus, out of your comfort zone, like, definitely go for it. Like, you can still take internships after college. It was kind of a scary thing. I got in my car one morning and drove 8 hours north to a house I'd never been before, didn't talk to any of my roommates before I got there, and they were 7 girls. I lived in one house with 7 girls, 1 bathroom, and 1 shower that we were all competing for after work. So you can imagine how that went. Clayton used to always have to shower in the morning, but it was amazing, and now I have 7 new lifelong friends. So it was just, again, a great experience. And just a big thank you. I want to thank Dr. Peterlin. I mean, I had the knowledge and the tools to use there because of these classes, because of these courses, because of 310, because of JCOM. Thank you guys. I mean, we give each other competition, we give each other ideas, we give each other tips and tricks that I, carried with me and put into action in front of people that had never heard of St. Mary, had never heard of this program, had never heard any of it. I just want to think, like, this is a charity. Like, I couldn't have even attended this college without the scholarship that's funded by them. So, it's just that domino effect of thanking people. Like, it's just all around. I just felt so grateful all summer long. It's just